So, first of all, is this true that tonight there's going to be a premiere of a new Deep Purple song?
Well, I wouldn't call it a song. It's not finished yet. The thing is, we can't do this stuff because, like we used to, do it all the time.
Right.
But then, by the time you get to the next town, people are selling it on the street.
That's
So,
right.
Which is shit. You know,
It is.
that's crap.
But this is quite a shift from what was what was coming out when you didn't say anything about the album, and now there may be something new.
I
What's
don't
the
like
change?
to get stuck in my ways. We like to change our ways.
All right.
So it just came up in conversation. We got like 30, 40, 50 ideas, and probably none of them are going to be on the album. While we knock them around and knock them into shape. And so it's a nice riff, and everyone said, "Oh, let's play that riff." And I said, "Well, you better have a song to go with it." So yeah, we're going to play the riff, and I'm going to sing some words. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, I don't know what, but it may not even be on the album. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So this is going to be a privilege for the Polish people to.
I hope it's
to
for
be
the
able
people
to-
at the show. It's not intended for people sitting at home.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to go out and see the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people sitting at home, I mean, they'll probably hear something and have their say about what they think about it.
That's
but
right.
It's not for them.
All right.
We're not even going to listen to them, what they say. But we listen to the audience that comes to this concert.
That's great. That's wonderful. I have another question about your perception of God, of what you call the infinite God, if I'm right.
Well, no,
No?
that's the title of my research. It's a program about infinity and God.
All right.
But they have some connections.
So,
So God for me it's easy. It's a word we know. So it defines the human spirit. And as far as I'm concerned, man created God. And so when we talk about eternity, which is the temporal version of infinity, which is the spatial version, there are some connections. And so it's worth looking at. And that, for me, has been a very exciting project for my whole life, since I was a kid. 8 years old, since 8 I've been chewing on the bone of infinity,
Yeah.
and since 12 years old, or 13, I've been thinking about God. And gradually in the last few years they've come together. Hence the infinite God. It's just the title of my work, really, which the idea of doing millions of hours of research and thinking is so that you can get everything on one page eventually.
yeah.
Collect all your thoughts without necessarily going into the explanations in too great a detail. So that's it in a nutshell. Man created God, and if you take infinity or eternity, people say it's an infinite universe. Well, it can't be, or it can be. It depends on your version of infinity. Most of scientists now, because science has become a belief system, most scientists now talk about infinity as having a value.
Yes.
And so you'll see in equations infinity minus 10 and things like that. Well, it's plainly ridiculous.
Right.
And so most people think of infinity as in the future or getting larger. Well, if it's infinite, it has to go both ways. For simplicity, if you look at it like Edwin Abbott's book Flatland,
Yeah.
if you reverse engineer the situation into 2 dimensions, for example, then you come like this to a starting point in everything you look at, everything you understand. And so, by definition, if there's a starting point, it's not infinite.
Right.
Because it can't only be infinite in one way, it's got to be infinite in every way.
Yeah.
So that means we have to understand the concept of things getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
I see. Yeah.
We now have got to the point where we're not looking at, but we're talking about things like abstract ideas like up quarks and things like that, which are too small to measure.
Yeah.
But I think the answer is emerging. When you start re-engineering or reverse engineering things like that, you start to think, right, so if it is It's like when I was a kid, I built a wall round beyond the universe because I thought it had to end somewhere. And then I thought, what's behind the bricks? So the thing is now I'm thinking of altered matter, space. You know, we see simple things in our own lives about liquids turning into gas and vice versa. So I'm thinking along those lines, and there's a lot more to go. But it's made it easier. Once you pass a certain stage of thinking, you get a realization that actually it's not that difficult. So the universe is expanding only because our knowledge is expanding, and the universe being all known things is the best definition I've ever heard of it, and God being beyond all understanding, as it says in most religions.
That's right.
It's one of those things that I think probably barriers are set up, designed for us to explore. They were set up a long time ago,
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
centuries ago,
That's right.
when we were thinking of a much smaller,
Scale.
even a galaxy. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a long subject, but I'm getting there.
It's a long subject, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right. So, is there going to be another Ian Gillan album as in the vein of One Eye to Morocco, which was absolutely...
I don't know. I've got so much material, and Purple is so busy, but maybe I'll find time to do it. I do these things when I feel the need,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
and I don't feel the need at the moment.
All right.
There's no urgency, or I'm not getting any pressure. Having said that, my record company phones me up regularly and said, when are we going to get the next album, solo album? So, but there's a lot of work to do on the next Deep Purple one at the moment, so I haven't
Yeah.
really given it any thought. Mind you, every now and again I get an idea that obviously won't fit into a Purple thing, so I make a note of it and keep it in my library. So
All right, Ian. Thank you very much.
that's okay. It's nice talking to you.
It's great talking to you. It's
Thank
my
you very
first
much.
interview with you. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very
thank
much.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Great.
And thanks for keeping it brief. It's great. I appreciate it.